between President Trump and the press.
Marvin Kalb is a former correspondent for CBS and NBC News. He's also a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution. He's the author of a new book, Enemy of the People, Trump's War on the Press, The New McCarthyism and the Threat to American Democracy. Mr. Kalb, when President Trump says that the media is the enemy of the people, what are your thoughts?
Well, the first time I heard the president say that, it was in February of 2017. And my honest answer is I was shocked. And I was shocked because the expression enemy of the people was used throughout the 20th century by the worst autocrats, by Hitler, by Stalin, Mao Zedong, Mussolini. All of the wrong people used that expression because they wanted to contain the press and, if possible, turn the press into a tool for their government. And the thought in my mind was, why would the president of a democratic country use that kind of an expression? So I wanted to find out what was possibly in his mind. Did he have the same ideas that a Mussolini had? I don't believe that, by the way. I don't believe that for an instant. What I do believe is that the president, by demeaning the press, by calling them enemies of the people, he is demeaning not just the press, but one of the pillars of American democracy. And that, to me, is the frightening element of the press's response to the president. What does the president have in mind? Why does he say this? Are we on a path to some kind of authoritarian rule? I am frightened as an American citizen. And by the way, I didn't want to write this book. I've written 16 books in my life. I did not want to write this. The only reason I wrote it is that I'm frightened. I am frightened about where we're going, about the direction of our lives. I hope that this book can awaken people to the problem.
A lot of people will point out about, they'll look at you and they'll say CBS News, NBC News, these were gatekeeper networks, they'll say. And we've seen a democratization of the media. And that's why Marvin Kalb would be upset with this. What would you say to that?
I would say that I understand what they're saying. I really do feel that there is a great deal of unhappiness with the press, with the media, all over the country. My answer is that this started in the Nixon administration, when Spiro Agnew, the vice president, called me and other reporters at CBS the nattering nabobs of negativism. And at that particular time, we didn't take it seriously enough. Nixon put me on an enemies list. He began to check my income tax. He did all kinds of things. But I never had the feeling that Nixon was going to do anything that would undermine the democracy that we lived in. I could have been wrong, but that was my view. I do believe today that President Trump, because he has never been in public office, never served in the military, he has never had public responsibility before, may not understand that by attacking the press, he is undermining a fundamental pillar of American democracy. I would ask him, if I had a chance to talk to him, Mr. President, is that really what you want? And I'm sure his answer is no. But then why does he do it?
Some would point to the press being an easy target. The press has been lumped. If you're a Republican, you watch Fox. If you're a liberal, you watch MSNBC. People will say that we live in silos or echo chambers. Was it an easy choice for President Trump if he wanted to find an enemy?
Well, the thing that is remarkable is that President Trump every now and then may depart from the truth, but every now and then hits it right on the head. And what he said recently was that he used the expression enemy of the people in talking about the press because he thinks there are a lot of people who will agree with him. And if the president then says that there's a dangerous caravan invading the United States, and then points to the press and says, those guys are dishonest. They're not going to tell you the truth. Listen to me. That enough Americans will do just that. They'll listen to him, not the press. So if you undermine the press, you cut into the press's ability to tell the American people the truth as best you can find it out. I am not saying that the media is perfect, not by any means. But we are still a free press, living in a free society, and we've got to be very mindful of the importance of a free press to maintain our democracy.